y'all? It's Frank Bank here with another one. Sixers last night put together a blowout win finally this season. They actually didn't, like, they let a little run in the third quarter, like a little 7-0 run or something, to bring the lead down a little bit, but they actually didn't, you know what I'm saying, build a big lead, lose it, or get down 15 or not like that. They actually kept their foot on the gas throughout the whole game. And the crazy part is that the game started, when the game started, it was like a close game. It was 40-37 after the first quarter. They were up 3. Kelly Oubre had 22 in the first quarter. Again, showing a different side of his game this year. More consistent and more, you know what I'm saying, more into what his strengths are, playing to his strengths, which I don't know if that's a coaching thing or if that's more of a, you know, he's like on his last year of his contract, so maybe it's him trying to get a better contract, like getting humbled this year with just like not really getting a contract offer, having just a separate player option. Maybe it's that, but Kelly Oubre is playing great in these first 6 games. But like I was saying, it was 40-37 after the first quarter, and they didn't really, you know what I'm saying, impose their will in the first quarter. It was more like a Kelly Oubre show. Everybody else was just like playing. Maxey, you know he gonna get his, but everybody wasn't really stepping up. Second quarter, we started killing the Nets. We started making runs, you know what I'm saying? By the second quarter, I think we gave up like 17 points. And by halftime, we was up by like, I say 15 or 18. I forget. But like I said, the Sixers are showing. Next game we play is against the Bulls. And the Bulls are like, I guess, the 2nd seed in the East. And they started off hot as us. So it's going to be a good tester game. But like the Sixers, man, they're showing that they got a lot of depth. Quentin Grimes had 22 and 13 assists off the bench and 7 rebounds. And then another player that everybody was saying, oh, he doesn't look too good, has played himself back into shape too with Trendon Watford. He had almost a triple-double off the bench. I think he had like 17, 6, and 7 or something like that. And that's crazy to have these type of weapons coming off the bench, where the Sixers have never had a bench like that. That's why every time Embiid misses a game or something like that, they always like considered it like a schedule loss or things of that nature, because as soon as Embiid came out the game, we were like minus everything. We would be like plus 40 with Embiid in the game, minus everything with Embiid out the game, even with Maxey. But Daryl Morey has really done a good job of turning his roster over. And look, Dominic Barlow got injured. Trendon Watford comes in and shows, you know what I'm saying? That was like a point, like they were saying like power forward was our weakness, but it's looking like we got 2 good additions. And even Jabari Walker is showing a lot, even though he hasn't really had a breakout game yet. He's still consistent. He's not getting smoked when he plays out there. But Trendon Watford was like was showing like the stuff that Dominic Barlow was doing. He was just kind of like coming, like, you know, stepping up for that and showing that we do have a viable power forward rotation. That and the fact that even though we struggled interior defensive this game, where we had, like, you know, the centers were playing good in the last couple games, like Adembona and Andre Drummond. This game wasn't too good in that, but we had good, you know what I'm saying, like good power forward rotation this game. But it didn't really matter because we were up 20 and we were just pressing on the gas and just extending the lead. And showing that we wasn't like a walkover team, or we wasn't going to let this be a close game, even though Embiid didn't play. And that's very impressive to me. So, yeah, that was a pretty good situation for us to play that type of game tonight. I mean, last night, and show that that's what great teams do. They step on teams that are not, you know what I'm saying? Even though you could tell the Nets ain't really got too much going on, they step on teams like that. So that was great to see. Maxey had his usual 26 and 9 assists, but he was like supposedly like everybody felt like he was struggling, but he just shot 9 for 19 from the field. I don't think that's too much of a struggling night. He just didn't have. He been averaging 35 and 9 assists. So to everybody else, that's struggling because they feel like Maxey should put up MVP numbers every game. He's starting to get like, an expectation of that every game. But it's fine though. I'll take 26 and 9 on a night on a win by a dub, and I feel as though they didn't need him to do that this game. That he played his role. Paul George and Jared McCain should be coming back, man. That's just like crazy. Like, and the way we play, like we haven't really played in years like this without Embiid in the game. We would win a game, don't get it messed up, but we wouldn't blow a team out without Embiid. So this is just showing the depth of this team. Like, this team is so deep, and I've been saying that since the first game. Like, this team is built to outlast injuries. I don't know how Daryl Morey did it, but it's built to, like, you know what I'm saying? And that Edgecombe tonight had almost the highlight of the season this year with a dunk. He almost had one of them OG Anunoby dunks, the one that OG Anunoby that he did it against the Knicks in the preseason, but he almost dunked on Claxton like a crazy dunk, and he missed it. But he made up for it with a steal and a dunk later in the game, which was a highlight. It seemed like he's going to give us a highlight every night. Edgecombe is just so impressive, man, as a rookie. He just plays so, like, he had his little 16 points tonight, didn't break out. He plays in the offense. Like, he doesn't get flustered. He just plays in the offense. Whoever's, like, he knows if this dude has got it tonight, I'm gonna play off of the dudes that got it. And if I got it tonight, he's gonna give us what he got. And on top of that, his 3-point shot is looking very impressive. It doesn't look like it's gonna be a flaw in his game. But let's cross our fingers on that, because he might go through a stretch where he doesn't shoot as well. But he's been shooting pretty well to begin this season. Like, and his shot looks pure. It doesn't look like a horrible shot. Other things out of this game, like I said, that was good for Kelly Oubre to start off like that. I thought Kelly Oubre was going to give us a 40-point night the way he started, having 22 points in the first quarter. But he cooled off a little bit. He had a little and one that he got injured on later on in the game, but he came back in the game. The only thing I could take out this game that was a little bit bad was just like Bona and Drummond didn't get off like they've been getting off on the other games. But maybe that's just like, all season can't be perfect. It's going to be ups and downs for every position. But as long as the other positions step up, we still could get key wins like this. Quentin Grimes, 6th Man of the Year candidate. Once again, I'm going to say this every game. 22 and 13 assists. And in the third quarter, he was just like hooping. Like, he was just doing behind the back left hand bounce passes, no-look passes to Tyrese Maxey. He was just doing his thing. Like, he was just like man, Sixers going to have to pay this dude. And he's going to earn a paycheck this year because the way he's been playing off the bench in limited minutes. I say 30 minutes, 28 minutes, stuff like that, but he's still putting up starter numbers. I mean, if he went 6th Man of the Year this year, he's definitely going to get paid by somebody. But yeah, so we went through most of the players this game. Who else had a pretty good game? That's basically, yeah, Embiid didn't play, so we can't really talk about him too much. George and McCain should be coming back. I'll have y'all updated on when they're going to play it later on. Maybe this week. I heard that was going to be the return this week or next week. But I just want to see how this team going to play at full strength because, man, they looking very scary. They're #1 seed in the East. I know it's only 6 games into the season, but we are the #1 seed in the East. We should just keep on going and keep that position now that we have it. But yeah, like I said, man, nobody expected the Sixers to be like this, but I expected it, man. With this, every time there's a season like that everything doesn't go right. There's injuries. Golden State had a season like that, man. But at the end of the day, we made the perfect draft pick for us. And that was a good thing that Daryl Morey was able to make this draft pick, because if we would have picked Ace Bailey right now the way he's playing, that would have been horrible. I believe it would have been horrible. Because he needs a slower game, and the NBA is a fast-paced game, and it just suits VJ Edgecombe better. It seems like Ace Bailey is more of like a he's more like fit for back in the days, like a Paul Pierce type of player or something like that. He wants to play slow. And right now, they're going up and down the court, up and down the court. This is more about like your speed. The NBA changed, man. It's not the same as you see a player, you say, oh, he reminds you of Tracy McGrady. But Tracy McGrady played back in the days. Nowadays, you got to be fast. You got to go back and forth. Even though Tracy McGrady was athletic and fast, but the prime of Tracy McGrady was more like, well, I ain't going to say Tracy McGrady, but like, I feel like he's more like a Paul Pierce. Like, he plays slow. He wants to get to that mid-range, and you got to play fast. Even if Kevin Durant lasted in his NBA, Kevin Durant had to adjust his game to be a fast break player, a great defensive player. You can't just be offensive and think you're going to get off like that. But, man, let me not say nothing because it's early in the season. But at the end of the day, I feel like the NBA suits VJ Escombe more. So that was like a perfect draft pick. And look at the way we coming out playing. So it's like, to me, that was a great thing. But like I said, great win for the Sixers tonight. Way to step on the gas and on a bad team and play. Because you seen how Michael Porter Jr., that looked like the worst contract in the league. And Cam Thomas looks cool as a scorer, but he don't look like he should be a starter in the NBA. But at the end of the day, great win for the Sixers. Way to not play down to competition. And I'll be here for Chicago game. Remember, I'll be for live play-by-play for Chicago. That should be a big game because we both 5-1. Even though people don't believe that Chicago should be that good, they're young. So who knows if they really should be. They really are going to put up a good record this year. See y'all next time. Tomorrow at Chicago, I'm going to put some vids out. And appreciate y'all for watching, liking, and subscribing. Keep the ball rolling so we could get in this algorithm, man. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching. See y'all next time.